This is the female urinal, so Pinkel only. This is the pee and poo separator, and this is the men's urinal. This and this go straight into Holzkoller and charcoal and sawdust mix 50-50, which we found gives the right pH, and that can be made directly into the compost after a month, and that ends up like that in the middle bucket. So that's garden compost and the charcoal that's already charged with nitrates and phosphates from the urine. And then this one, the poo, gets a sprinkling of charcoal and Sägespäne sawdust on it, and that helps not make it smell, and that ends up like that after 2 years. It ends up like that after a year, but you can use it after 2 years. And if anything gets a bit smelly or you're worried, you can stick effective microbes, they're dried effective microbes, absorbed onto sawdust.
And this we put on the ground, right?
Yeah,
we're going to put in the garden.
Into the garden, because it's all being sterilized by this process of being in this, which is alkaline instead of the acidity that is normally in them. The alkalinity of this helps shift and makes it safe. And worms much more prefer it when the pH becomes neutral. And there's the water. That's a quick hand washing or washing whatever you can wash. And you could bring hot water from the kitchen if you wanted to do a hot water wash. The little barrel with the charcoal and wood sawdust, and that goes underneath the men's urinal like that. And then there's the same there for the pee separator, and this is for the poo, and that one's got no poo in it at the moment.
Okay.
But you'd put poo. When you'd had a shit, you would put the
poo goes down here from the toilets,
falls directly into there, and then you put the compost on it, and here's the extractor fan so that any smell is sucked out.
Okay, so that's for the urinal, and that's also for the urinal, and that's the fan that sucks out the smell.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this is the back of the toilet.
Hello, so this is water harvesting, because that's one of the problems wherever you go, shortage of water. Here there was already rain collected off this roof for watering the garden, and all we've done is just hose the two together so that we can collect it here, take it in there and sterilize it, either by filtering it if you want drinking water, or by boiling it if you just need a wash. And our roof is not used for rain catchment, it's simply the solar catchment. And that runs the 12-volt system that runs the fan and gives you light and can charge your smartphone or your batteries.
So these are the solar panels. So basically,
solar panels. It's a 12-volt system that runs 2 light bulbs, a battery charger, charges a battery.
So we have the solar panels, and we also have these water systems. But you can create any water system that suits your environment.
Yeah, and if you could harvest it off the roof of the container, you'd have to set the container at a slight angle. It wouldn't be difficult. And then here, the grey water, we're actually obliged to keep it. So we keep it in here. That's the grey water harvesting. But the original, before there was any soap introduced, the original grey water harvesting was this miniature reed bed here. But you could make a bigger reed bed like this, and put your grey water straight in that. In the kitchen, this is shows you the state of the battery. This is the place for the charging of your cell phone or your laptop. There's the battery that stores the 12-volt power. Here's the filter for getting dirty water into super clean, hygienic water. There's the grey water collection again for taking outside. And this is storage space for the stuff that we'll see outside in the kitchen. and there's storage space in general.
Okay. So the container is basically very spacious in a way.
Hopefully, yeah.
So you
As
can make
say,
it.
As you say, you could sleep in here if you needed to.
Yeah. So there's a possibility of even putting 2 bunk beds here on this space
It's conceivable.
and making a space to. And there it is.
This is the pyrolysis stove from India, and you start a small fire in there, and then the way in which the draft is excluded, it's only got small holes in the bottom and round the side, and once it's started to burn, you put the cover on it, and that restricts the draft completely. You cook on it, and the pot, this typical Indian pot.
Okay.
But we actually have a high-tech recycling lid with a to get the cooking time down even more.
Okay.
And then when the coal is finished, when the fire is finished burning off the 2/3 of the volatiles out of the wood, and
Yeah.
there's just Holzkohle, you could go on cooking on it and have a longer, slower burn. But of course, we want the charcoal. So you simply tip the thing out.
So it's about the charcoal that's.
Yeah, and then the charcoal. That was the amount of charcoal I made in cooking a zucchini and making some herb tea.
Okay. So this
that-
charcoal, then where does it go?
That charcoal comes round to the toilet, and the circle is complete.
So the charcoal goes into the toilet.
Mixed 50-50 with
50.
50% charcoal, 50% just roughly with sawdust, and that gives you about the right neutral pH that worms seem to like.
Okay, 50% charcoal, 50% sawdust, and you mix it with the poo.
Yeah,
And you mix it
or
with
pea
poo
in it.
and the pea,
And
yes.
so the urine is soaked into the microstructure of the charcoal. Nobody can eat the charcoal. So instead of, if you left that wood in the wild, then the fungi would turn the whole 100% of it into back into the carbon cycle. But
Okay.
this way, the carbon, nobody eats it, so it stays in the soil. And they now say that you could sequester all the carbon we've put in the last 200 years, could be sequestered back into the soils we're already using on the planet.
So what are we talking about now?
We're
Terra
talking about-
Patra.
We're talking about permaculture cycles,
Permaculture.
sustainable cycles,
Okay.
which is why we got the name Sustainer.
Okay, so the name sustainer comes from this
Yeah.
sustainable cycle.
Yeah, and any of the kitchen scraps that get finished with go into a barrel here. And push the air out, make it as anaerobic as possible, so that the digestion is first composting system is anaerobic, and then that mixed with your peed on sawdust and charcoal makes your terra preta, which is where we started seeing that. when
So
the
it's all
cycle-
about Terra Patra.
Yeah,
Terra
the-
Patra.
and the whole circle is complete.
So we started here. Yeah. So notes. What's the Sustainer all about? I think you got a rough idea from the introduction text, like the workshop announcement.